Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Tonight, before we begin the meeting, Harry Harris Middle School sixth grader Lewis Logan will lead the prayer before the pledge. Lewis is a sixth grade honor student at Harry Harris Middle School. Lewis excels in academics and balances his roles as a student athlete and a member of the symphonic band. Beyond school, Lewis demonstrates a genuine love for serving his community. Looking ahead, Lewis aspires to soar to new heights as an aerospace engineer. Following the prayer, I will call the meeting to order and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather at the school board meeting, we thank you for guidance and wisdom to illuminate our discussions and decisions. May we work together with open hearts and minds so getting the best outcomes for all students, educators, and families in St. Charles Parish. Grant us patience, understanding, and compassion as we navigate the challenges and opportunities before us. Bless us with clarity of thought and unity of purpose so that we may serve our community with integrity and dedication. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Meeting is now called to order. Mrs. Becky Weber will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the
Thank you, Mrs. Weber. Let the record show that all board members are present, as well as Superintendent Ortling and our secretary, Mrs. Shelley Babineau. First item on the agenda is a resolution in memory of Mr. Carl Monte. Mr. Art O'Quinn will read that resolution.
I'd be honored to read this resolution, as Mr. Monte was a longtime employee of the school system and also the public library system. Resolution in memory of Carl Monte. Whereas Mr. Carl Monte was hired in 1967 and was an educator in the St. Charles Parish Public School System for 35 years. And whereas Mr. Carl Monte served as a librarian and counselor at J.B. Martin Middle School for the majority of those years. And be it resolved that the St. Charles Parish Public School Board herein expresses to the family of the late Mr. Carl Monte its sincere sympathy in this, their time of sorrow. And be it further resolved that a page in the February 7, 2024 School Board Meeting Minute Book be set aside for the sole purpose of inscribing thereon this resolution, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Mr. Monte's family. And I move that we adopt this resolution.
Second.
It's been motioned and second to approve resolution in memory of Mr. Carl Monte. Is there any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. That resolution is unanimously approved. We have a copy of the resolution to member of Mr. Monte's family. The next item on our agenda is a resolution in memory of Loretta Robinson. Ms. Becky Weber, would you read that resolution, please?
It would be my honor. Resolution in memory of Loretta Robinson. Whereas Miss Loretta Robinson was an employee in the St. Charles Parish Public Schools for 34 years, and whereas Miss Loretta Robinson served as a dedicated custodian at many schools in our district, including Destrian High School, St. Rose Elementary, Norco Elementary, and Luland Elementary Schools. And be it resolved that the St. Charles Parish School Board herein expresses to the family of the late Miss Loretta Robinson its sincere sympathy in this their time of sorrow, and be it further resolved that a page in the February 7th, 2024 board meeting minute book be set aside for the sole purpose of inscribing hereon this resolution, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Ms. Robinson's family. I make a motion to move this resolution.
Second.
Been motion and second to approve this resolution. Is there any board discussion? If none, please cast your votes. The resolution for Ms. Loretta Robinson is unanimously approved. And it's a member of the family here. Sorry. Don't know you. The next item on the agenda is a resolution in memory of Marion Campbell. Mr. John Smith, would you please read this resolution?
I'll be happy to read the resolution, Mr. President. I knew Ms. Campbell both as a friend and as a professional colleague. Resolution in memory of Marion Campbell. Whereas Ms. Marion Campbell was an employee in the St. Charles Parish Public School System for 31 years, and whereas Ms. Marion Campbell served as an educator with many positions in our district, including retiring from Hornville High School as a home economic teacher. Be it resolved that the St. Charles Parish Public School Board herein express to the family of the late Miss Marion Campbell its sincere sympathy in this their time of sorrow. And be it further resolved that a page in the February 7th, 2024 board meeting minute books be set aside for the sole purpose of inscribing thereon this resolution, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Mrs. Campbell's family. I'd like to also indicate, since this is Black History Month, that Miss Campbell was one of a few teachers, African-American teachers, who voluntarily, during the DSEG days, voluntarily went to the previously all-white school, and Mrs. Campbell, volunteering to do that, volunteered to subject herself to serious consequences that she contributed greatly to the building of the home economics department as she proceeded to complete her work in St. Charles Parish. So with that, I'd like to commend Ms. Campbell and recognize her family and thank her family for having allowed Ms. Campbell to serve this school district. Thank you. With that, I would offer this resolution for approval.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the resolution in memory of Mrs. Marion Campbell. Is there any board discussion? If none, please cast your vote. That memory resolution of Mrs. Marion Campbell is unanimously approved. Is there anyone in the audience from Mrs. Campbell's family? If not, we'll move. The next item is a resolution in memory of Gloria Landry, and I will take the privilege to read that resolution. Whereas Ms. Gloria Landry was an educator in the St. Charles Parish Public School System for 28 years, and whereas Ms. Gloria Landry taught at various locations, including Hornville High School, and retired from George Washington Carver Elementary, and be it resolved that the St. Charles Parish School Board herein expresses to the family of the late Ms. Gloria Landry its sincere sympathy in this their time of sorrow, and be it further resolved that a page in the February 7, 2024 Board meeting minute book be set aside for the sole purpose of inscribing thereon this resolution, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Ms. Family. And
I'll move adoption.
thank you, Mr. O'Quinn.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. O'Quinn, second by Mr. Smith. Is there any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. This resolution in memory of Ms. Gloria Landry is unanimously approved, and I will present this along with the superintendent to Mr. Charles Landry, Ms. Gloria's husband. The next item on our agenda is a proclamation for Black History Month. And Mr. Scott Cody, would you read that proclamation for us?
I'd be honored, Mr. President. 2024 Black History Month proclamation. Whereas during National Black History Month, we celebrate the value of the vast contributions of Black Americans to our nation's culture, economy, history, and identity. And whereas Black History Month grew out of the establishment, 1926, of Negro History Week by author, historian, and journalist Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. In 1976, on our nation's bicentennial, President Gerald R. Ford officially recognized Black History Month, urging Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. And whereas the 2024 national theme for the observance is African Americans and the Arts, and whereas the St. Charles Public school system is deeply committed to equity and inclusion. This stance supports the cultural and racial affirmation of our students, staff, parents, and community members who are Black. And whereas the St. Charles Parish Public School System strives to close the equity and outcome gaps for Black students through policies and practices that improve the experiences of Black students, ensure greater access and opportunity, and honor history, heritage, and contributions. And whereas our community is better because of the diversity of our population, and now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Public School Board, hereby proclaim February 2024 as Black History Month and urge all citizens to celebrate the culture, heritage, and contributions of Black Americans to our diverse community, state, and nation, and our schools not only during Black History Month, but throughout the school year. Mr. President, I move that we accept the Black History Month proclamation.
Second.
Been motioned by Mr. Cody and second by Mr. Smith. Is there any board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The 2024 Black History Month proclamation is unanimously approved. Next item on our agenda is Arts in Schools Month proclamation. Ms. Karen Boudreau, would you please read that proclamation for us?
I would love to. Whereas the arts taught in St. Charles Parish Public Schools include music, visual art, dance and theater, and media, and whereas March 2024 has been designated as Music in Our Schools Month by the National Association for Music Education, National Youth Art Month by the National Art Education Association, and National Theater in Our Schools Month by the American Alliance for Theater and Education. And whereas education in the arts contributes powerful benefits to all students by enabling them to become artistically literate citizens who use a variety of artistic media to independently create and perform work that expresses and communicates their own ideas, finds an arts discipline in which they develop sufficient competence to continue lifelong involvement in creating, performing, and responding to art, know and understand art from varied historical periods and cultures, and actively seek and appreciate diverse forms and genres of art, enduring quality and significance. Find joy, inspiration, peace, intellectual stimulation, meaning, and other life-enhancing qualities through participation in all of the arts. Seek artistic experience and support the arts in their local, state, national, and global communities. And whereas the 16th Annual Arts Fest will be celebrated on Saturday, March 16th at the Dr. Rodney R. LaFawn Performing Arts Center with artistic presentations in music, visual art, dance, theater, and media arts for the community. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of St. Charles Parish School Board, in conjunction with the above-mentioned national organizations, hereby proclaim March 2024 as St. Charles Parish Public Schools Arts in Our Schools Month, and urge all citizens to take interest and give full support to quality school programs in the musical, visual, dance, theatrical, and media arts for children and youth. I move that we adopt this.
Second.
Been motioned by Mrs. Boudreau, second by Mr. Suffren. Is there any board discussion?
Mr. President, if I could ask Mr. Josh Martin, Coordinator of Gifted, Talented, and the Arts, to say a few words, please.
Thank you, Dr. Ortling, and thank you, Board, for that proclamation. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joshua Martin, Coordinator of Gifted, Talented, and the Arts, and I sincerely thank the Board and the Superintendent for continuing the annual tradition of naming March as Arts in Our Schools Month. This school year has inspired opportunities for program growth and a new caliber of excellence. Our arts teachers have continued to rise to the occasion of instilling creativity in our students and challenging their artistry, creating impassioned work like never before. The arts have and will continue to serve as a lighthouse in a storm for so many, including you and me. The district's celebration of Arts in Our Schools Month, as mentioned in the proclamation, will culminate in our annual Arts Fest on Saturday, March 16th, beginning at 10 a.m. at the LaFawn Center. We invite everyone here tonight and all of our community to join us for this momentous occasion. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Any other discussion? If not,
Mr. President, I'd just like to add that this does fall into arts. Last night's honor band was absolutely amazing. And it's a testament to you, the program you run, but also all the teachers of music, and it falls under arts. Elementary band, frankly, sounded like high school or beyond. And it was unbelievable. And there were so many compliments, so great job.
thank you, Mr. Gregson. Any other board discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The 2024 Arts in Our Schools Month proclamation is unanimously approved. Next item on our agenda is Public Schools Week proclamation. Mr. Gregson, would you read that proclamation?
Sure, Mr. President, I'd be honored. 2024 Public Schools Week proclamation. Whereas the education of our children is essential to the future of our community, our nation, and our world. And whereas public schools are the cornerstone of our democracy, providing students with the knowledge, skills, and character needed for success in a diverse and dynamic society. And whereas public schools welcome all students, regardless of their background or abilities, and strive to create an inclusive and nurturing environment that fosters learning and growth. And whereas the dedicated educators and staff in our public schools work tirelessly to inspire a love of learning, encouraging critical thinking, and prepare students for the challenges and opportunities of the future. And whereas Public Schools Week, which will be celebrated from February 26th to March 1st this year, is an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions of our public schools and the individuals who make them successful. And whereas this week provides a platform for showcasing the innovative programs, extracurricular activities, and community partnerships that enhance the educational experience for our students. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the St. Charles Parish School Board hereby celebrates Public Schools Week from February 26th to March 1st, 2024, as a time to honor the commitment of our educators, staff, students, and families to the success of our public schools, and encouraging all members of our community to join us in celebrating the achievements of our public schools and expressing gratitude for the dedication and hard work of those who contribute to the education and well-being of our students. Mr. President, I move to adopt this resolution.
Thank you, Mr.
Second.
Gregson. I have a motion and a second to approve this proclamation. Is there any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The 2024 Public Schools Week proclamation is unanimously approved. The next item on our agenda is Board and Superintendent's recognition, and I will turn the floor over to Ms. Alexis Cannon.
Students. High school students were named individual wrestling district champions. Destrehan High School's Jacob Britt. Hawnville High School's Alex Cook. Davin Wieland. Harry Hurst Middle School students placed at the Junior High Wrestling State Tournament. State runner-up, Donnie Hollis. State champion, Ethan Laperouse. Employees. Albert Cammon Middle School employee is the Nearpod Community Connector Educator of the Year, Lanisha Markey. Teams. Destrehan High School cheerleaders placed first at the Southwestern Cheerleaders Association's Battle at the Capitol and fifth place at the National Cheerleaders Association National Competition. Coach Marcy Scott in the Destrehan cheer team.
I want to congratulate everyone for the awards and recognition that they receive here tonight. And at this time, we will take a small break and allow anyone who would like to leave a chance to do so. Thank you and good night. We will come back to order. Next item on the agenda tonight is board meeting minutes. We have minutes from January 9th, 2024, RMNI minutes, the January 11th board retreat minutes, January 24th committee meeting minutes, January 24th board meeting minutes, and the January 31st special board meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I'll move that we approve the minutes, meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on approving all of these minutes? If not, please cast your vote. All of the mentioned meeting minutes are unanimously approved. Next item on the agenda is request for qualifications for excess workers' compensation broker. This item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting of the board on Monday, February 5th, 2024, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move to approve the request for qualifications for an excessive workers' compensation broker.
A second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the excess workers' compensation broker agenda item. Is there any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. That item is unanimously approved. Our next item is request for qualifications for a performance bonds broker. This item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting of the board on Monday, February 5th, 2024, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move to approve the request for qualifications for a performance bonds broker.
I second it.
It's been a motion and second to approve the request for qualifications for a performance bonds broker. Is there any discussion? If there is no discussion, please cast your vote. That item is also unanimously approved. Next item is revisions to board policy and procedure 7.2, complaints from the public, the first reading. This agenda item was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting of the board on Monday, February 5th, 2024, and is aligned with Goal D and C of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I'll move that we approve the recommended revisions to Board Policy and Procedure 7.2, complaints from the public, for a first reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve that agenda item. Is there any board discussion or any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. That item is also unanimously approved. Our next item is personnel items. This agenda item was reviewed by the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting on Monday, February 5th, and is aligned with Goal C of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I'll move that we receive the personnel items as presented to the board.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve to receive the personnel items. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, please cast your vote. The personnel items are unanimously received. Our next item is bid authorization request for Child Nutrition Program food, supplies, and equipment. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting on February 5th, 2024, and is aligned with Goal B of this board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the bid authorization request for Child Nutrition Program food, supplies, and equipment.
A second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Is there any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. That item is unanimously approved. Our next item is bid authorization request for Destrehan High School cafeteria serving lines. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting on February 5th, 2024, and is aligned with Goal B of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the bid authorization request for new serving lines at Destrehan High School.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the serving lines at the Destrehan High School cafeteria. Is there any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The Destrehan High School cafeteria serving line bid authorization request is unanimously approved. Our next item is bid authorization request for janitorial paper supplies. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting on February 5th and is aligned with Goal B of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the bid authorization request for janitorial and paper supplies.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. The bid authorization request for janitorial paper supplies is unanimously approved. Our next item is our annual comprehensive financial report audit, the audit for fiscal year 22-23. LaPorte CPAs and advisors completed the financial audit on December 28, 2023 for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023. The audit report is presented for acceptance by LaPorte CPAs and advisors. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance Committee meeting on February 5th and is aligned with Goal D of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Mr. President, I move that we accept the annual comprehensive financial audit for fiscal year 2022 through 2023.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the annual comprehensive financial report audit for the fiscal year 22-23. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, I'd like to just thank Mr. Ronald White for his diligent effort and time that's required over the holidays to make sure that this is timely, and the time he spent with our external auditor, Mr. John Murray of LaPorte CPAs, to complete it. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Gregson. Any more discussion? If not, please cast your votes. The annual comprehensive financial report audit for fiscal year 22-23 is unanimously accepted. Our next item is 4.10, salary schedule modifications for fiscal year 24-25. Modifications to the district salary schedule are recommended based on a procedural review. The new salary schedule would be effective July 1st, 2024. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting on February 5th, 2024, and is aligned with goals C and D of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the salary schedule modifications for fiscal year 2024-2025 as presented.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the salary schedule modifications for fiscal year 24-25 as presented. Is there any discussion? If not, I'm sorry. Is there a cost of approximately $2.5 million per year? Any other discussion or questions? If not, please cast your votes. The salary schedule modifications for FY 24-25 is unanimously approved as presented. Next item on our agenda, 4.11, is accounts payable for the month of January 2024. Invoices and other financial obligations of the school districts are customarily paid weekly. Request for approval of these transactions is normally made to the board monthly. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting on Monday, February 5th, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan. The amount of our bills are, looks like 3,237,000, no, 200. I'm looking for it. I don't see it all. That's okay. I'm sorry. The grand total for the bills is $11,445,091. Any?
Mr. President, I move that we approve the accounts payable for the month of January 2024, a grand total of $11,445,091. It consists of a general fund amount of $2,300,903, special revenue funds of $937,255, capital projects of $2,300,565, and debt service fund of $5,906,368.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the accounts payable for the month of January 2024, and forgive me, my page was not all the way down, and I only saw 2 rows of numbers, and I was trying to do the math. Forgive me for that. Any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. Accounts payable for January 2024 is unanimously approved. Next item on our agenda are the standing committee reports. Any chairman of a standing committee, if you have a report, you can do it at this time.
Mr. President, the Finance Committee, consisting of myself, Mr. Al Suffern, Ms. Karen Boudreau, met on Monday, February 5th. We discussed 5 items. Bid authorization request for child nutrition program, food, supplies, and equipment. The second was Destrehan High School schools cafeteria serving lines, and also janitorial paper, all 3 of which were approved a few minutes ago. And also Mr. John Murray, our external auditor with LaPorte CPA firm, presented the annual comprehensive report audit for the 2022-23 fiscal year, and the accounts payable for the month of January 2024. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Gregson.
Mr. President, the Risk Management and Insurance Committee, consisting of myself, Mr. Art Oakwan, and Ms. Becky Weber, met this past Monday. Among the issues discussed were the cycle dates for RFQs pertaining to insurance brokers. The committee also moved to the table tonight 2 different RFQs for approval. The committee wants to especially thank Ms. Darenisha Gales for her patience and thoroughness in detailing out the various policies and procedures that she manages in her capacity as Director of Risk Management and Benefits, and we look forward to really testing that patience with our constant questions moving forward. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Cody. Anyone else? If not,
Mr. President, the Personnel and Policy Committee, consisting of myself, Mr. Alexander, and Mr. Cody, held a meeting on Monday, February 5th, and we covered 2 items. Both items were on the agenda for the full board to consider during this meeting and were approved. Those items were revisions to Board Policy and Procedure 7.2, complaints from the public for first reading, and I'd like to thank and recognize our Assistant Superintendent Erin Grenier for her good work on these revisions. The other item was the personnel items were received as presented to the board, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Suffering. Any other committee chair reports? If not, that'll move us to item 5.02, the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please be patient. It's a little lengthy this afternoon. Kindergarten registration for St. Charles Parish Public Schools is now open. Children 5 years old by September 30th, 2024 are eligible to register for kindergarten. Parents and guardians can register using the link under District News on the St. Charles Parish Public Schools website or in person at the school in their attendance zone, March 11th through the 15th from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Students registering online or in person by March 15th will be administered the kindergarten screener at an assigned time later in the spring. Applications for pre-K are currently being accepted too. Families must complete the St. Charles Parish Early Childhood Community Network Coordinated Application online or by completing the paper application. The online link can be accessed under District News on the St. Charles Parish Public Schools website. Paper applications can be picked up from Carver Early Learning Center, East Bank Head Start, all elementary schools, and the school board office. Students who will be 3 by September 30th or 4 by September 30th are eligible to participate in the St. Charles Parish Public Schools Head Start and 4-year-old programs. While applications are accepted throughout the school year to ensure all seats are filled within the schools and Head Start sites, the first round of student selections will begin after March 8th. Eligibility and placements are based on age, residential area, and income and are not awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. Free transportation is provided for students enrolled in the 4-year-old programs. Temporary residency applications for pre-K and kindergarten enrollments will be accepted for provisional enrollment from February 19th to the 23rd, 2024. After this window, temporary residency for the 24-25 school year will not be processed again until the current school year ends. If a student is currently in pre-K at a St. Charles Parish Public Schools Head Start Center or school site and has temporary residency, they must provide proofs of residency when enrolling in kindergarten. The computer-based format of the ACT will be administered on March 12, 2024 to all 11th graders and some seniors. All 10th graders will take the pre-ACT on the same day, March 12th. Students not taking either of these tests will participate in asynchronous learning on this day. HHS and DHS will share additional information about ACT testing and asynchronous learning. Please contact your child's school for additional information. The Visual Arts Gallery will open to the public from Monday, March 11th through Tuesday, April 9th at the Dr. Rodney R. LaFon Performing Arts Center. A ceremony honoring the student artists chosen from each school site for the Superintendent's Gallery will be held on Tuesday, March 12th at the LaFon Center. As mentioned earlier, in celebration of March is Arts in Our Schools Month, the 17th annual St. Charles Parish Public Schools Art Fest will occur Saturday, March 16th, 2024 at the Dr. Rodney R. LaFon Performing Arts Center, beginning at 10 a.m. The day's festivities will feature artistic representations from each school site, including installations of visual art pieces from arts programs, this year's Superintendent's Visual Art Gallery entries, performances from school bands and choirs, talented theater casts, and the Satellite Center's dance and technical theater classes. We welcome the community to join us on March 16th as we continue to celebrate and showcase the learning and growth taking place in our school system. The St. Charles Parish Public School System is seeking Staff Achievement Award nominees. One staff member from 8 categories will be selected for recognition at the Staff Achievement Awards program in April. The deadline to submit nominations is Monday, March 25th, 2024. Nomination forms will be available on the district's website. For more information, contact the Public Information Department. Please join me in recognizing the employees who go all in to demonstrate that we are St. Charles Parish Public Schools. The Destrehan Dusty Darlings competed in Orlando at the UDA Nationals. The Dusty Darlings placed 5th in game day, 4th in hip hop, and 2nd in jazz. They also competed in the World Exhibition Showcase, receiving a gold medal for hip hop and a silver medal for jazz. Destrehan cheerleaders competed in the National NCAA Championship in Dallas, Texas, and finished 5th in the nation. Destrehan boys soccer finished the season with a 6-10-2 record and were ranked 32nd in the playoffs. They were defeated in the first round of the playoffs. Destrehan girls soccer finished the season 6-9-2 and also ranked 32nd in the playoffs. They were defeated also in the first round. Hahnville boys soccer finished regular season with a record of 13-2-4. They are the 14th seed in the playoffs. They defeated CE Bird 2-1 in the first round of the playoffs, and they traveled to Denham Springs for the second round. Hahnville girls soccer finished the regular season with a record of 7-6-2 and was the 22nd seed in the playoffs. They fell to CE Bird in the first round of the playoffs. And finally, I'd like to give special recognition to teacher from Harryhurst Middle School, Miss Lauren Wagasback, who was honored this afternoon with a Milken Educator Award. Now, this is an esteemed honor for our school system and specifically Miss Wagasback, and is just one indication of the great work taking place in our schools and throughout our school system. Mr. President, that completes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Ortling. That concludes our agenda.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, meeting adjourned.